doing that you get better. It's not in the getting bigger that you get better. You don't automatically become better because you're bigger. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, I'm Bibi. I'm a fashion entrepreneur. I've been doing this for about 8 years now, and this channel really is my outlet to share my journey, share tips with you guys out there that would like to be entrepreneurs as well. So today I am going to be talking about scaling, the hard truths about scaling. So a lot of times people always ask me questions. How did you go from being this small brand to being where you are today? And it's a whole entire journey, and really that's why I started this YouTube channel, because there's really a lot to talk about. And this channel helps me break down those things into tiny bite pieces by telling story times and just sharing tips. I remember just thinking as a child, I don't know if you as a child ever had that thought that why don't adults play with toys? Why don't they watch cartoons? Well, now I know. So there's some things that when you become big, you don't realize till you become big. It's like, oh, I see. Oh. So in this video, I'm just going to be sharing with you the hard truths about scaling your business and the things that you should still do while you're small. The very first thing is it doesn't necessarily get easier, but it gets better. The caveat here is if you're building with intention and with precision. So you don't necessarily become better because you're bigger. One precedes the other. So when you're smaller, you have the opportunity to do things on a smaller scale. You can learn, you can specialize. There's so many things you can do when you're smaller that when you become bigger, you sort of have to take the focus off like minute task and like focus on the bigger picture. Of course, you should still focus on the bigger picture while you're small. There's so many mistakes that when you make them when you're smaller, it's just easier to manage than when you're bigger. So it's in the doing that you get better. It's not in the getting bigger that you get better. You don't automatically become better because you're bigger. Everything that you're doing is magnified when you're bigger. So you get better when you build with intention. You get better with experience, and that, my friends, takes time. The second hard truth about scaling is that it is expensive. So I know people expect that when your business is bigger, it is expensive. But I don't think a lot of people know the magnitude and the extent to which things get expensive. So when you're small, when you're expanding, let me just give you practical things that you might need to expand. So you want to get more people, more human expertise. That's money. That's your payroll going up. Then you need a bigger space. That's money. Then you need more equipment. You need to get more laptops. You need to get more furniture. So the bigger you get, the higher your overheads, and it's not like going to reduce. It's most likely going to multiply. So what I mean is that there's a multiplier effect. Like it's not 2 + 2. It's more like 2 × 2. What to expect in terms of expenses. So the next point is one that's like, okay, and the next point is you might lose your coolness / edge. So I was listening to this podcast on Kenneth Cole. So Kenneth Cole used to be like the It's brand back in the day, and I didn't even know they were ever an It's brand, to be honest, like, because I've been seeing Kenneth Cole in like Kmart and seeing Kenneth Cole in like regular like mass market stores, So But when I like listened to the story of Kenneth Cole, I was like, oh, Kenneth Cole was actually like a diesel at some point. Kenneth Cole was like that edgy brand that, you know, people used to go for. But Kenneth Cole said something in that podcast that I was like, He was like that he had to sacrifice coolness for cash money, because he said that at the time that he was coming out, a new brand came out, and that brand is Nine West. So people don't go to Nine West because they're trying to be like wear like the cool brand. They're going to Nine West because they need shoes, and they know that they're going to get a certain level of quality at a good price in Nine West. So basically that was a decision that Kenneth Cole had to make. Do I want to get more money, or do I want to still remain cool? So when I say you might lose your coolness and edge, I'm bringing it to the perspective of, oh, your brand might be this brand that's loved by like certain people, and those certain people love it because a lot of people do not know about it, so they get to wear it, brag about it. The moment you become bigger and it's like everywhere, some of your key customers, you might lose them, you might lose that coolness, you might lose that edge. So that's the hard truth. Like for me, I don't really care. Like I don't really care, because I think that you should be able to, whatever you're doing, you should be able to scale it. Like I'm not one for like hyper niche businesses and businesses that only a few people know about. That's not how you make money. So so you might, that's just one thing that you should be aware of. It's not something you should fight. It's not that you're going to be completely uncool. It's just that level of I don't know what level your brand is, but I just lost my light. The next point is gaining momentum is harder. Oh my god. So as a big brand, it's you already like, people already expect like a level of is it excellence, or just a certain standard, and you kind of always have to push. You have to push, and you have to push beyond those standards, because if you deliver on that same level every time, people are just gonna be, oh, okay, oh yeah, you have nice clothes, oh yeah, they're cute, oh nice shoes, oh nice. Like, to get like a very like strong reaction from people, to get that momentum of like that buzz, is harder when you're a big brand. You have to do more things, you have to, I mean, sometimes the thing about momentum is that sometimes it can just be like totally random, something unplanned. But like, I just feel like from my own experience as a smaller brand, we had like so many more, like we had so much momentum when we were smaller than when we were bigger. It's like everyone's like, it's kind of everything you do is like expected. Okay, yes, this is what we expect from you. So, you know, so there's less moments of like less spiky moments. Yeah. So now I've talked about the hard truths about scaling, and I'm going to now talk about the things that you should do while you're still small. So it's not bad to be small. Like, it's not a bad thing to be small. I feel like these things I'm going to talk about are things that I wish someone had told me when I was still small, so that I would have just taken advantage of these things while planning to be bigger. So the very first point is be focused on doing things differently while you're still small. And I think that this is one thing that I actually did. So a lot of things that we did while we're still smaller were very innovative, and were things that people were not doing, and I feel like those things made us stand out. And even up till now, some of the projects that we're doing as a company is not something we've seen For instance, our lady boss portraits that we came up with Gazmado Studios is not something that we saw anywhere being done. It was something that we actually sat down, we thought about, and we came together and we collaborated to do it. And now people are actually doing it. People are being inspired by the idea and doing it. So don't be that brand that's always inspired by other people, especially other local brands around you, are doing. You can take inspiration from other brands in other cities or other countries. Just try to bring things that are new, try to bring things that are fresh, try to bring ideas that you've not seen anyone do before. And this, being small, that's the best time to actually experiment, because people are more forgiving of smaller brands. So even if things don't work out the way that you envisioned it, you will learn from that experience, and you take that learning to make the next thing that you do even better. This is the time to experiment. This is the time to do things differently. Don't be scared. Don't be intimidated by what other people are doing. Launch that thing that you want to do in that way that you want to do it, that you've not seen anyone try before. It might work, it might not work out, it might work out. You know, there's that quote that says, what if I fall? And it's like, oh my darling, but what if you fly? So you never know how things will work out. As a smaller brand, you should take more risks. Second point is put systems and processes in place. So this is the time to be building the foundation for your brand. This is not the time to be doing things anyhow, because you feel like, oh, I'm a small brand, you know, I don't need to do this, I don't need to have invoices for my orders, I don't need to give out receipts, I don't need an accounting application right now because I can manage my books. Like, this is the time to be setting the stage for the things that you want to come forth for your business. And putting systems and processes in place is just a given. You need to have ideal ways of how you're doing things while you're doing them. So you have come up with your documents, come up with your documentation, come up with your handbook for your employees, come up with these things. When I first started, I was writing legal contracts myself. I remember I worked with this big company to supply uniforms, and I came up with a memorandum of understanding. I am not a law student by any means. I googled it. Google is your best friend at this point. I set different standards for how I wanted to run my business, not because I had all the answers or not because I was professional, I had a team behind me, but the way that I ran my business, people would not even know that, oh, it was just me, I was my own admin, because of just how professional I was able to organize things. So this is the point, that you need to be putting those processes in place. The next thing is make sure that your systems are flexible and they are updated regularly. So I'm going to do a different video on putting systems and structures in your business, because I feel like this is something that a lot of small businesses do not do. For some reason, some people think that's only big businesses that should have structures and systems in place, but I'm telling you that if you do not build a good foundation, everything that you build on it will crumble. So it's very, very important that these systems are being updated on a regular basis. The next point is something I wish someone told me, and it's take advantage of every single momentum that you get. We got quite a number of opportunities when we were much smaller that we did not really milk. So this is the time to take advantage of those press mentions, any opportunity that you get your way. Maybe it's a certain person wearing your brand or endorsing your product. Make sure that you milk it. You can either use it as a marketing you can use it as a marketing strategy for your brand, or use it in some way. Sit down and strategize how you can use any opportunities whether it's press mentions or awards or anything like that. You make sure that you milk it and you use it to the best of your advantage. Next thing is push, 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 and never stop pushing. Don't be afraid to talk about your brand every and anywhere that you go. Never. And that's one thing that I feel like I was very shy about, even though I loved my brand and I actually love talking about my brand, but I used to sort of curtail myself or hold back because I didn't want it to look like, oh, I'm talking about my brand too much. But you know what? You better be a shameless ambassador and advertiser of your brand. You need to push your brand like someone out there is paying you to endorse your brand. You see how people endorse other people's brands when they are paid to do so. You are on your own time, you're on your own dime, so you need to push your brand. Make sure that wherever you go, you take advantage, even if it's, you can challenge yourself, even if you're shy, to talk to one or two people about your brand. I know some people that I've met because I wasn't shy, not that I wasn't shy, but I pushed myself that, oh, let me just go talk to this person, and it has helped me. They've given me opportunities along the line just because I walked up to someone. And let me tell you, you will get a lot of no's, you get a lot of excuse me, you get a lot of, condescending looks from people, but it doesn't matter. Like when you see someone that you feel that, oh, this person, it would be nice for this person to be affiliated with my brand, or just even to get feedback. Oh, have you heard of this brand? Okay, what do you think? Can you go on our website? Can you see what's the process like? Don't be a shameless promoter of your brand. The next point is something that I know that if you're like me, you're going to be like, and it's something I've said you do not have to do, but I'm just going to include it, and that's being the face of your brand. So this one for introverts is like, oh my god, I don't want my face out there, I don't want my name out there, I don't want my business out there. But one thing that you have to kind of do, I mean, you don't have to do it, but it helps. It's being the face of your brand. So because you're a new brand and you're a smaller brand, a lot of people do not know you, and then putting a face to your brand helps with your credibility. It helps just to humanize the brand a little bit. So when I first started, I was putting my face out there a lot. I wasn't putting like my personal information out there. I wasn't doing that, but I would, for instance, when we have like a new design that I'm testing out, I would take a picture in it and I'll be like, oh, like, what do you guys think of this design? I'm testing it out. So things like that is what I see as being the face of your brand. Just being that face that people can relate to. When you're smaller, it just helps. And because you're a small brand, you don't want to be hiring someone to be the face of your brand. So just you doing it yourself can help. You just have to find like a line where you just draw for yourself and say, okay, I'm not going to put personal information. This is as far as I'm going to go. Like, it's really your choice at the end of the day, but I'm saying that you should do this because it can accelerate even like the buying decision of customers because they're seeing someone in the brand. So it's something you can do to start and later on not do. But the truth is that I see even now when I post like a picture or I post a video on our brand page, I see how people respond to that. The engagement is always higher. So putting your face every now and then doesn't hurt. So what are the problems that you're having with your business? This should be your focus, as opposed to, oh, I want to just be big. You have a quality control problem. Fix it. Having more tailors is not going to solve your quality control problem, or having more bakers, if you're a baker, is not going to solve your quality control problem. You have customer service issue. Hiring more customer service representatives is not going to solve your problem. Training the one that you have to do what they're doing well or better is so Training is what you should be doing now. Bettering your processes is what you should be doing now. This is the time to make sure that whatever you're doing it well, because the moment that you start to expand, the moment you start to scale, everything that is, let me just give this scenario or just paint this picture for you. When you scale, you're basically multiplying what you have presently. Like, there's no magic. It's literally what you have, you're making it more, you're multiplying it. Like, you're not eliminating something to make for a better thing, you're just multiplying what you presently have. So that problem that you have at that scale is what you should be handling, and it is what you should be fixing before you expand, because the bigger you are, the harder you will fall, my dear. So I hope that you found this video helpful. I will be something I was supposed to mention in this video that I didn't mention, but if you stuck to this point, thank you. It's that I'm building my mailing list because I want to do a free sort of webinar for business owners, fashion business owners especially. So I'm going to leave a link for my mailing list in the description box below, so make sure that you subscribe, because I will be sending only my email listers the link for the webinar when it is ready. So, and this is something I hope to do early 2021. So get on that email list and make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you like this type of content, and leave a comment. Let me hear you guys. What's your biggest issue scaling? Like, what's your biggest issue now as a business owner, not just a fashion business, whatever business you're doing? What is the biggest challenge that you're facing? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.